So I'm about to go to bed, but just wanted to post up another video about a few thoughts. Number one, the new covenant is the only covenant in which Christ, or which a sacrifice, who's Christ alone, uh, atoned and made propitiation for all of God's chosen elect. The elect are those whom God chose in eternity past, who He would send His Son to die on their behalf alone. They're not the reprobate; they are the elect. The reprobate are those whom God chose in eternity past, who He would not die for, um, and as a result, they would perish for their sins. With that said, the Jesus' first miracle in Cana. I like to say in Canaan, but apparently, I guess, I don't know. I guess there's a difference between Canaan and in Cana. But anyways, Jesus' first miracle of changing the water into wine is about basically how the new creation, the change man. A lot of people want to say that the changed man and the new creation are works, done by us. What is the changed man but he who does good deeds? But that's not true. The changed man is a new position that we have in Christ Jesus by the result of His death. It's not about our good works. A lot of people want to look at something that there's a change, there's an inward change, or there is a outward change, whatever, well, and that's wrong. You should not look at someone else's good works. The only reason why you want to look at someone else's good works is because you yourself are not saved. We look to Christ. Everyone who is in Christ looks to Christ, and everyone who is saved by Christ looks to Christ. They don't look to works. They don't look to anything else. So we live by Christ and in Christ by faith alone, by believing the gospel alone. So whenever I do something good, all of a sudden someone wants to be like, yeah, good job. But no, my works are full of dung. A lot of people want to say that, well, faith without works is dead. But I've already explained the passage. How many more times do we have to explain the passage? James 2 isn't talking about salvation before God. James 2 is talking about something different. It's talking about our good works before men, but not before God. God doesn't need our good works. That's why you can be saved without good works. And yet, if you don't have good works, and and you are still justified by faith alone in Christ, by Christ. Not even faith itself saves. What saves is Christ alone. We just say that faith, that justification comes through faith as a result of it, because the believer looks to Christ, and we turn to Christ. In fact, faith in the Bible is oftentimes used as a noun, not as a verb. It's not something that we do. So whenever it does say faith, it's talking about Christ. So another thought is Acts 8. Today we were at church, and it talks about how Philip preached the word, and then it talks about how Philip preached the name of Christ. Those two things are interchangeable. Christ is the logic of God. Well, you could say logic, you could say word, proposition, because words, it's more words, not word. It's not a singular word, it's a proposition. Christ is the proposition of God. And Philip preached the proposition of who Christ is. There's no difference between who Christ is and his work and what he did. In order to preach Christ, you also have to talk about who he is, what he has done, and you have to speak of it in statements, in propositions. So there you go. Bye.